Hello YouTube, my name is Nero and today we have some Modern Warfare Remastered. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time, we have some multiplayer footage of Modern Warfare Remastered, and I cannot wait to get into this video. I want to break down this footage for you guys. I want to tell you all things that I saw, some similarities and some differences from Call of Duty 4. There's just so much to discuss, but before we get into that, I would like to say that the quality of the footage here is a little bit subpar, and the reason why is this is me recording a live stream, right? Because the footage that we're looking at, it's not on YouTube yet. There's no official trailer or anything like that for Modern Warfare Remastered's multiplayer on YouTube at the time of me recording this video, so I couldn't just download it from YouTube in really high quality. Instead, I had to record a Twitch live stream to get this footage for you guys. So hopefully you guys can still enjoy the footage. I think it looks pretty good given the circumstance, and we got to see a lot of really cool and interesting things revolving around Modern Warfare Remastered. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Here we are with the very first clip using the Barrett 50 cal sniper rifle, and we're just gonna pause right here, guys, because this is so different yet so similar at the exact same time. So there are some obvious UI changes in Modern Warfare Remastered. You guys are seeing the UI, and this is what it looked like back in Call of Duty 4. Right, just soak that in. Now bring that back to Modern Warfare Remastered. It's a little bit different, right? It's not going to be the exact same thing, but the UI actually looks pretty good in Modern Warfare Remastered. Something that you may have noticed that is different is that we actually are going to have medals in Modern Warfare Remastered, which is interesting to me because we never saw medals in Call of Duty 4. We didn't even have them in Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 3. The first Call of Duty game to actually have medals was Black Ops 2, and they decided that they were going to bring the medal feature into Modern Warfare Remastered. But what's interesting even more so is the fact that they don't actually appear to give you any bonus XP. You see the guy got a kill here that says plus 100, which is standard for Team Deathmatch in newer Call of Duty games. Now, I would like to point out the orangish, yellowish number. It looks odd, right? It doesn't look like it actually belongs there, but again, looking back at some Call of Duty 4 footage, that's what we actually had back in COD 4. If you got a kill, little yellow numbers actually popped up, and so it looks a little bit odd for some reason to me. Maybe that's just me, but that's definitely what it was like back in Call of Duty 4. The big difference is the value of the number. You guys notice plus 100. That's not something that we had in Call of Duty 4. If you got plus 100, you did something freaking amazing back in COD 4, because that's when numbers actually used to be a lot smaller. Now, I can make an entire video dedicated to this, but I'm going to try and summarize it here. Back in COD 4 and in World at War, the numbers were a lot smaller. If you got a kill in Domination, it gave you 5 points. If you captured a flag in Domination, it gave you 15 points. Compare that to Modern Warfare 2 and onwards, where you would get 50 points and 150 points respectively. They just basically added zeros in newer Call of Duty games. And the reason why they do this, and the reason why a lot of game studios do this, is because it artificially makes you feel like you're doing more than you really are. If you get plus 5 points, you're like, oh boy, 5 points. Whereas their idea is, if you get a kill in Domination, you should go, wow, plus 50 points, all for me, you know. But the reason why I don't like that is because it actually just makes it so numbers don't mean anything. Back in COD 4, if you got 5 kills in a game of Domination, 15 for capturing a flag, you really felt like you were doing a lot if you started getting numbers up in the hundreds. Once you started playing game modes like Search and Destroy, where you were getting 50 points a kill, you're like, wow, 50 whole points. And then if you were to complete a big challenge, like getting 150 headshots on your weapon, which would actually give you 1,000 points, just think of that, 1,000 points in a game where I typically get 5 points for an entire kill. Like, it felt really good to get those numbers. Whereas in newer Call of Duty games, it's like plus 10,000, plus 15,000, plus 30,000. It's like, well, these numbers don't mean anything to me anymore. And so I wish they would have kept the smaller numbers. That is something that they could actually change and revert back to just by simply removing zeros, but I doubt that they'll actually do that. But I digress. Let's move on. I could spend an entire video talking about the numbers and why they should go back to the smaller ones, but we're not going to be doing that here in this video. So here we see the player actually get a medal for earning his UAV, which is a new change. Back in Call of Duty 4, we actually got scrolling text, which would tell us whenever we earned a kill streak. So I like the new medal. The medal looks nice. It's better than scrolling text, I'll admit. But notice that he actually gets a red hit marker for getting a killing blow on the opposing player. That's something that is new to Modern Warfare Remastered. Back in COD 4, if you got a kill, it just showed you your standard hit markers. And you guys may be thinking, well, maybe that red hit marker means a headshot, look at other parts of the trailer, it is just basically a kill indicator. It's not a headshot indicator or anything like that. Every time you get a kill in Modern Warfare Remastered, a red hit marker will show up, and that will let you know that, hey, you got a kill, stop shooting, which I actually think is a nice change. It's different than what we had in COD 4, but I think it's going to be an improvement. Next up, let's see the player here go and get this kill on this guy in the barn, and this is actually a pretty important clip because it shows us a lot of details for Modern Warfare Remastered. To start things off here, let's take a look at the scope. Right now, we're looking at the in-scope interface for Modern Warfare Remastered, and now we're going to take a look at the in-scope interface for Call of Duty 4. They're kind of similar, and keep in mind that both of these clips are with the Barrett 50 cal. One's in Modern Warfare Remastered, and one is in Call of Duty 4. There are some similarities for sure, but let's talk about the differences. So in Modern Warfare Remastered, the kill feed is actually being cut off by the scope itself, and you have some very blurred peripheral vision while aiming down sights with your sniper rifle. In Call of Duty 4, you had no peripheral vision whatsoever. It was just all black, and the kill feed was not cut off by the scope. It was actually just there as part of your interface. So I find that to be pretty interesting. If you're a hard scoper of some kind, you're not actually going to be able to see the kill feed, which is interesting. And also notice how the medals, they still pop up while you're aiming down sights, but they'll still be cut off by the inside of the scope as well. So I definitely found that to be pretty interesting. Something that is not cut off, however, is this new feature, this sidebar over here, which will show you when somebody in your lobby does something major. Now, we first saw this as a system in Modern Warfare 2, when somebody would capture a flag or call in an AC-130 or something like that. A little thing will pop up letting everybody in the lobby know, and also, of course, showed off your player card. Well, in Call of Duty 4, we had a similar system, kind of. I mean, it would show up in the kill feed if a player was on a 10 kill streak, a 15 kill streak, a 20 kill streak, so on and so forth. Basically, every time you got 5 kills towards your kill streak after you start on a 10 kill streak, it would show up in the kill feed for everybody in the lobby to see. I do wonder, zooming in here for you guys, what this means for Modern Warfare Remastered. Will we actually be getting calling cards and icons and emblems and stuff like that similar to Modern Warfare 2? I think that would be a welcome change because it's just a little bit of customization that doesn't really change the game a whole lot. Next up, let's take a look at the player actually inspecting his 50 cal, very similar to CSGO, and this is actually a confirmed feature. Now, there is some leaked footage. I can't show it to you guys because of copyright, of course, but there is some leaked footage going around of Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered from Call of Duty XP. This was actually happening last night, and when I was watching that leaked footage, you can actually see the guy inspecting his M48-3. He was also inspecting his M16. It's just something that you can actually do, and I find that to be a pretty cool feature and a welcome addition to Modern Warfare Remastered. The next clip that we're going to be looking at here is actually going to be of a player getting a kill on an enemy here on the map Backlot, and then he walks past this M16 M203 on the ground. This may not seem like a giant thing to a lot of people, but if you played Call of Duty 4, you'll notice that this is a giant UI improvement. You see, back in COD 4, which was made in 2007, when you picked a gun up off the ground, you never knew what attachments were going to be on that gun. It was all completely random. You had no idea. Here you can clearly see that this is going to be an M16 with a grenade launcher. At other instances throughout the trailer, you'll see like M4 carbine, red dot sight, and it's actually cool because it tells you what attachments are on the weapon. Again, if you're a newer fan of the Call of Duty series, this may seem like just the most basic elementary feature in the world, but in COD 4, we didn't have this as a UI feature, but in Modern Warfare Remastered, we will. This is something that I don't think a lot of people really thought about, hoping that they were going to add this as a feature in Modern Warfare Remastered, but they did add it, and I think it is going to be a welcome change. In this next clip here, we actually see a player playing a game of free-for-all on Downpour using the AK-74U submachine gun. I chose to show you guys this clip because of how odd it is. So the player is pop-firing the 74U almost as if it were a semi-automatic rifle, but it's clearly a full-auto submachine gun, but also because this is a very clear spot where you can get a really nice example of what the weapon sounds are going to be like in Modern Warfare Remastered. So take a listen here. Do the weapons not sound a little plasticky to you? It sounds like you're shooting an airsoft gun of some kind. Like, it doesn't sound like a proper submachine gun. The AK-74U had a very meaty AK-style sound in Call of Duty 4, which is not present here in this trailer. Now, I will say that these weird sounds may be exclusive to this trailer. We've seen it in the past, even in the Call of Duty franchise, where they will actually change around the sounds of weapons for their trailers. I mean, heck, as recent as the Black Ops 3 Eclipse DLC trailer, trailer, we heard different sounds of the weapons. I'll play a quick example for you guys. You see how weird that sounds? Like, it's so odd how they actually do that. For whatever reason, they decide to change up the weapon sounds in their trailers occasionally, so this may not actually be representative of the sounds that we will have in Modern Warfare Remastered, although it's a bit concerning because a lot of the weapons in this trailer actually sounded very plasticky, like there wasn't a whole lot of meat to them. It just, I don't know, it was really off-putting for me. That, ladies and gentlemen, is basically all I have to show you for this particular gameplay. I mean, we did get to see gameplay on various maps, including Crash, Backlot, Bog, Downpour, and Overgrown, which was nice, but that's about all that I have to discuss for this trailer, besides going maybe super in-depth, talking about the most minute of UI changes and stuff. I don't think I'm going to do that for this particular video, but instead, I would like to give you guys some new details regarding the Modern Warfare Remastered multiplayer. So, it was announced at Call of Duty XP this year that while the game will still ship with only 10 multiplayer maps, the other 6 standard maps will be available as free DLC in December, which I think is a pretty cool thing. The big question here is, will we end up getting remastered DLC? If you guys don't know, Call of Duty 4 had one DLC pack. They called it the Variety Map Pack, and it included with it Kill House, Broadcast, Creek, as well as Chinatown. These are 4 maps. These are the final 4 maps of the 20 total maps that were available in Call of Duty 4, and I wonder if they're bringing back the other 6 multiplayer maps, so they're actually giving us all 16 in the standard multiplayer. Will they eventually do a paid DLC where they will remaster Kill House, Broadcast, Creek, and Chinatown? I think that would be interesting. I personally would be more than happy to pay for that, given that the game itself is going to be a complete game, and that is going to be the other bit of information I want to close this video out with. Modern Warfare Remastered will be a complete game. So if you guys don't know, and there may be some new footage of it already on YouTube, but there was a video going around last night before COD XP that had leaked some gameplay for Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered. I watched this gameplay, especially the Modern Warfare Remastered gameplay, and I noticed, because the person was going through the interface and going through the Cray class and stuff like that, that Modern Warfare Remastered will have all of the original weapons, all of the original attachments, the same perks, the same kill streaks, including stopping power and Juggernaut, and even the little things, like back in Call of Duty 4, if you wanted to equip a grenade launcher to your assault rifle, you needed to give up your first perk. You could not have a perk 1 if you wanted to have a grenade launcher on your weapon, and that is still true in Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, which I thought was awesome. The camos are still in the game, although they are slightly different. Now, before you Call of Duty 4 vets jump out of your chair, know this, know that all of the original camos from COD 4 are in the game. So we're talking desert, we're talking woodland, digital, blue tiger, red tiger, and even gold, but they changed up how gold is actually going to work. So the difference is gold will now be earnable on all weapons in Modern Warfare Remastered, which was not the case back in Call of Duty 4. I saw footage of a golden M40A3, I saw footage of a golden MP5, I saw gold guns galore in the leaked footage, and that was not the case in the original Call of Duty 4. So in fast forward, if you guys did not know, gold weapons were available for the first time in the Call of Duty franchise back in Call of Duty 4, although it was a lot different than how you earned them today. You could only get gold on certain weapons. You could get gold on the AK-47, the Mini Uzi, the M60, the Dragunov, the Desert Eagle, although that was just a leveling up perk, and the final one would be the M1014 shotgun. These were the only weapons that you could actually earn gold for, and how you earned them was, for example, to get the golden AK-47, you needed to complete all the headshot challenges for all the assault rifles, and by doing that, you would earn a golden AK-47. Do all the headshots for all the submachine guns, you would earn a golden Mini Uzi, so on and so forth for all the other weapon categories. Now, I do not know how you will actually be able to earn gold for your weapons in Modern Warfare Remastered. All I saw was gameplay, but I would assume that if you complete all the headshot challenges for all the assault rifles, that you would then unlock gold for all the assault rifles. Same for submachine guns, same for snipers, so on and so forth. That's how I assume it's going to go, although we have no confirmation on that. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude this video. Modern Warfare Remastered looks to be absolutely fantastic. If you ask me, there are definitely going to be some changes, but it's still going to be the same game that we know and love. It's going to have all the same weapons, the same kill streaks, the same systems in place. I'm definitely looking forward to playing this game. I'm definitely looking forward to learning more about it. And with COD XP and people actually able to play Modern Warfare Remastered at COD XP right now, I imagine that there will be some new footage on YouTube, and I also imagine we're going to learn a lot more in the coming days about Modern Warfare Remastered Remastered, but what I wanted to do for this video is just break down this footage for you guys because there was a lot to learn in this short little segment. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Drop me a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.